effects are very good. Even when I'm listening to it, I will kind of say, oh, who's blowing a whistle? You know, I'll forget that, you know, it's on audio. But when we open and close these cell doors, this is the exact sound that all of those inmates heard over all of those years. Any of those famous inmates you can think of, this is the actual sound that they heard. So we like doing a cell door demo every single night. Now, I want to just mention, when you started your audio tour, you probably didn't notice this, but when you started your audio tour, the cells that were off to your left were the old cells that they had originally on Alcatraz. So they built this place in 1906, and they built it as a minimum security military prison. And the cells were different. The bars had these flat bars that were soft, and they were very, very easy to cut through. But one of the main things was that the door, the old original doors, opened like this, like a door in your house, or like a great big fat weapon, right? You're a guard here, it opens up into you. Not only that, but every one of the cells had its own key. Ring of keys. Okay, so you're a guard, you have to have a great big fat ring of keys. And you have to walk along and you have to face that inmate. And you have to find the right key and put it into the lock, and this is just not safe at all. So in 1934, the Stewart Ironworks Company designs these cell doors, designs this mechanism. There's nothing electronic, there's nothing hydraulic, it's all completely mechanical. And they developed this in 1934 for Alcatraz. There are cell door mechanisms like this still in use all over the United States. I have correctional officers walk up to me all the time and tell me that they have the same cell doors. It was designed so well that it just got repeated over and over again. Now I'm going to go down to this end, and I know that you can't see what I'm doing in here, but you will be able to hear a little bit of it. Now there's a box on every single tier, and each box can control the cells to the cutoff. So there are 12 boxes here, 12 boxes on the other end. And there are 3 parts to opening a cell door. Of course, they've tried to keep all of this secret from the inmates as to how they worked, because on occasion they might get hold of this and just jam it up because they didn't know how to do it. Now, if you listen to this, all I'm doing there is I've got the indicator and I'm putting it on a number, and I have the numbers 1 through 14 in the letter A. Then there's a ratchet, which is done. Let me do a couple here. And then there's a big hammer that I pull down, a big handle. And when I do this, I am moving 1,000 pounds of cells, 1,000 pounds of cell door, and I can actually do it with one finger right here, pulling down this hammer. So this is called remote control, right? The remote control system, and it was huge when it was first put in. Some of you can see that there's red on either side of here. I'll tell you why this red is important. If you're an officer on the floor, you don't carry keys and you don't carry a weapon. The guy with the weapon is up there, who's up in the gun gallery. He's the one with the weapon, and he watches out for you. He has to be able to tell which one of these doors are open and which ones are closed, so they put this red paint in there, because otherwise it's an optical illusion. It's very difficult. So you're an officer on the floor, and you have to let these foremen out for a haircut. So first of all, you get the key lowered down to you. You come over here, you open this box, you open the cell doors, you pour them out for a haircut, and you close the cell doors. Now that seems like a lot of work, but what if you say the rule is all cell doors closed all the time? Doesn't that make it simple? Right now, you don't have to think, oh, cell 17 is visiting his lawyer. You don't have to remember that. Then you take the key and you bring it, and it goes back up into the gun gallery. So there's really a lot of work being done to make this very, very secure. But you can do some interesting things with the cell doors. For instance, at once, and this is the sound of the slammer. And when you show up, word is out that you're a snitch. You are now in trouble. You have nobody to watch your back, and word is out that you're a snitch. So what happens? You go down to work in the industries building. There's a lot of electrical equipment down there. There's a lot of mechanical equipment. There's a lot of sharp stuff. There's dark corners, but you have managed to make it through the day. And you go into there for dinner, and there's always a lot of violence in the mess hall. It's not unusual, but you've managed to make it through there. And now you come in, you're standing here by your cell. How many guys are in each cell? Just one. There's no guy in the bunk bed. You don't have to worry about the guy in the bunk bed. So here it is at night, at the end of the day, you made it through. To me, that's not that bad of a sound. We have a former correctional officer named Frank Heaney. He still shows up on the island. He was a correctional officer in the 1940s. He still shows up on the island from time to time. Frank told me that sometimes when he would close these cell doors, he would see inmates, and he could tell they were kind of doing this when that cell door closed. Okay, we went through and we counted. We think there were about 10 cell doors opening and closing during the day. But there was always that last time of the night, the final lockdown. When you heard that sound as the final lockdown, it is not unlike whatever it is that each one of you does. We all do something different, where we know it's the end of our evening. So for me, this time of year, it's shutting off the Christmas lights, right? I know it's the end of my evening. You know, maybe it's you put the trash out, or you put the dog out, or you shut off the living room light. Whatever it is, it's the end of your evening. What's a reasonable time to get these guys in for the night? What would you say? 8. 8? Kind of an early evening, right? 8 o'clock, but 8, you think? Yeah, how about 5:30? Yeah, 5:30 every night. Think of all that you have done since 5:30. All right, what about New Year's Eve? Woohoo! What time?
5:30.
Yeah, how about 4:40? Correctional officers, you know, a lot of them lived right here on the island. Maybe they wanted a jump start on their night. So here you are, you're a correctional officer, your wife and your kids are just down the road. And you are standing with 27 of federal prisoners with the worst attitudes in the system, and they're on this tier with you. So where do you want them to be for the night? Inside, right? And what do you want to hear? I want to hear this. So I have to ask if that was a good sound, and definitely for a lot of men that was a good sound, right? End of the evening. Well, that is our cell door demo for the night. I want to thank you so much for coming out here. Have a wonderful walk down the hill. Have a wonderful boat ride back.